watching this again due to one's fascination with J.G. Ballard more than one's excitement to view one of these big Oscar bait productions from Steven Spielberg. Well, calling it Oscar bait might be a bit unfair. I do think there is a lot of merit to be found within Empire of the Sun, although it's no John Borman's Hope and Glory. And as far as these Western productions within a more liberated China, comparatively of the 1980s, compared to the couple of previous decades, it's no The Last Emperor from Bertolucci in terms of production values or even emotional resonance. Although that might be, I mean, that could be subjective. Let's say it's a matter of personal taste. Empire of the Sun is a finely crafted film, although it is clearly attempting a sort of sentimentality. Although insofar as the film was judged a success and emotionally affected the individual whom inspired it, J.G. Ballard, I can't really fault it for anything. But insofar as it's never incredible, the middle act might be slightly boring. It's always engaging to a point, always admirable as a series of cinematographic exercises, and the production values are very strong. It's almost the biggest production. Is it the biggest production Spielberg handled up to this point in time? Could be. And it's interesting that it wasn't a financial success. It didn't kill at the Oscars that year. I believe The Last Emperor did, actually, if I'm not mistaken. And it wasn't precisely a critical darling either. I think Siskel and Ebert give it mixed reviews. I know I bring up Hope and Glory before, partly because I'm very fond of Hope and Glory. It's been discussed on this channel before. But also, the Siskel, I believe, negatively compared Empire of the Sun to Hope and Glory. It's a kind of film which is praised for, and this is where the Oscar bait comparison, that term comes in, these emotional moments which are very kind of cheap, and they're the kind of things where, not cheap, but you know how you're supposed to feel, and they're just like, oh my god, this is grand, like, oh my god, and it's just like trying to realize very human moments via enormous productions. Some people feel a certain disconnect there. Something isn't quite gelling, and to some degree, I think Empire of the Sun has this fault, wherein it really wants to grip the audience emotionally without letting the film speak for itself so much. Now, it just may have seemed the obvious thing to do in film technology, and expectations of audiences build to a point where you just take these techniques to the nth degree, but you lose a certain refinement and subtlety, and things become overblown, I think. And I don't think Empire of the Sun suffers in the way that some of Spielberg's later films might suffer. Saving Private Ryan, or the Bridge of Spies / Warhorse / even Amistad. I just, these are the kind of sentimental films which Spielberg became sort of really, which made him even more unpopular with the sort of cinephile Cahir's world, let's say. Maybe that's at a point where they kind of in a contrarian manner, like Lord Spielberg. That wouldn't surprise anyone. Because I know that Cahir's are very fond of all of Clint Eastwood's films in the 21st century, wherein I'm only fond of Letters to Iwo Jima, and I don't much care for Eastwood's films as a director. After, like, Unforgiven onward, like, Unforgiven's fine, but, like, they're all the same after that. They're so didactic, and they're not that adventurous cinematographically. And even, like, the apex of those films, like, the initial venture into that territory with Bird and White Hunter, like, those are some of his top 5 films, but then I'm just not as fond of them afterward. So I'm thinking, someone suggested, Night in the Garden of Good and Evil is quite good. I'll watch that again. But anyway, Empire of the Sun. I wouldn't call it one of the Spielberg. If we had to make a little list of what other films I really like from Spielberg, because there are some, like, everyone's going to have some. And hey, Duel and Jaws, Raiders, Close Encounters, they were fantastic. I have no issue with those films. I really like Temple of Doom as well, actually. Afterward, we get a bit. I mean, I like Jurassic Park a lot, of course. I'm very big fan of Jurassic Park, even. I don't even hate The Lost World. Aspects of it are really dumb. Schindler's List deserves pretty much all the acclaim. I would. Yeah, why not? And Saving Private Ryan on, what did we get? I like Minority Report, I dig. AI is good. And I think Munich's fairly good. Yeah. I kind of. I have to view Munich again. Like, well, the politics of Munich might be a bit questionable, but we'll check it out. We'll check it out. Empire of the Sun. Let me know your own thoughts in the comments below if you're so inclined.